They're counting on you. Against all odds, we've made it this far. But we both know that the old ways aren't going to work this time. This journey has changed us, changed you. But it's not over yet.
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Good afternoon, Phantom. All right, I think we're live. We had a little bit of a small emergency that Chuck had to stamp out real quick, but we are here. It is, I don't know what day it is. It's October 21st, Tuesday. I am Stephen Chenault, and this is Ask Me Anything. Cardinal redeemed. Let's give it to me, Dr. Pepper. Thank you very much. What's up with my hair? It's all flat. I don't know. Forgot how to comb my hair. I'll get it, Dr. Pepper. Thank you. Cannibal, not cardinal. Cannibal. Thank you, Cannibal. I've always loved the word cardinal. I don't know why. I think it's cool. I think I got cool hats.
It's close to Carolina as well.
Yeah, there you go. Holy Carolina. Thank you, Cannibal. I could put the sticky Dr. Pepper in my hair. It'd be good. So a great tragedy occurred to me, unbeknownst to me, this past weekend. The whole family was planned. I'm just going to let you guys in on it because you guys have to hear about UFOs from me all the time anyways. The whole plan, we had planned for the past 8 months to go to Arizona on a family vacation. The whole crew was going. So I took a week off. That's why I couldn't go to Game Hall. But so we were off to begin the journey when my granddaughter got very, very sick. And then that was like 2 days before we were supposed to leave. Then my grandson, then my daughter, and then my son-in-law. Everybody got wiped out. And then Wilson had to come back. It became a whole thing. So we just canceled the vacation, said, all right, everybody go to your various corners, whatever you're going to do. And then my wife, Kathy, and I, we just fled to the mountains. So
fled.
We're sitting there. We're sitting there. I had just finished my UFO and the, National Security State book. And I was yammering about it to Kathy. And then I said, we need to check to see if there's any UFO conventions or shows or whatever. It might be kind of fun just to go. Because she's kind of gotten into the subject a little bit. So we're poking her out. Now, the vacation, when a vacation fell apart, Kathy and I actually talked about just going, the two of us, just hopping in the car and driving on out there and just doing it. 18-hour drive, blah, blah, blah. And the vacation was in Arizona, a place called Williams, Arizona. And so I'm scrolling. We're sitting there out and enjoying the sun Thursday or whatever day it was. And I'm looking at my thing to see what UFO conventions there are. And there was a UFO convention this past weekend in Sedona, Arizona, which is literally 20 miles or 30 miles, whatever the hell it is, from Williams. Had we actually gone out there, I could have actually gone to my first UFO or whatever the hell they're called, conventions, meets, symposiums. But I did not. I did not go. So, not only did we not go on vacation to Arizona, but I missed a golden opportunities. I think that the fates. I told Kathy, I think the fates had lined it up so that I could go to this convention, and then I failed the fates somehow. So I'm going to have to somehow karmically balance out my world. I go something like that. So Steve bailed on everyone. Yes, Steve bailed on it all. Yeah, I've not been to Arizona much. I've just, Charlie and I went to the Grand Canyon back in the 80s, and I hung out a little bit. And then I've been through Arizona a lot, going to Vegas back when we did the trade shows in Vegas back in the early aughts. I've been to New Mexico a lot more than I've been to Arizona. I absolutely love New Mexico, and I suspect I would love Arizona too. I'm a big desert fan. I just, what did I say? I screwed the pooch on that one, I think is the appropriate terminology there. great mushroom burgers in Sedona. Yeah, just should have gone. We Kat and I were kind of kicking ourselves a little bit. On the other hand, we slept a lot, so that was kind of cool. Arizona does not have many rivers. Yeah, I suspicion not. Though it does get flash floods pretty good. Anyway, so I finished UFOs of the National Security State, book I highly recommend if you're into the topic, and was not in Sedona as I was clearly fated to be. So at any rate, this is Ask Me Anything. If you have any questions, please throw them here in the chat. Chuck and I will do our best to answer them. We will do a crowdfunding campaign breakdown at top of the hour, and then in the last few minutes we'll do a quick jaunt into Aihrde. I don't really have a topic for today. Chuck asked me for what a good Aihrde topic, so if any of you guys can think of some questions you have that are very Aihrde specific, just throw them at me, and I'll answer them at the end of the stream. Now we're going to end the stream a little bit early tonight, right at 5:15. Because we are running my game with Chuck and Grace, and I don't think Jeremy will be there, and whoever shows tonight. The Dark and Fold campaign continues. It was supposed to be last night, but I did not get back from my non-vacation soon enough, and nor did Chuck, nor did Jeremy. So it was it was just a whole cascading thing. So we moved it to tonight. So from 6 Central to 8:30 Central tonight. I will be running a game here. So, in 2 hours or hour and a half, whatever the hell it is. How many games did Chuck run at Game Hold Con? It seemed from the pictures that everyone had a great time. From what I've heard, it was a great show. I've talked to Dakota a little bit today. Chuck is furiously getting his dinner ready right now.
Yeah.
But Chuck, before you dive in, answer that question. How many games did you run?
Oh, let's see. I think we had about 30 games there. I ran 5, I think. I ran a kids game, then I ran the big game, and then I ran 3 regular games. Yeah, it was great. I got a bunch of photos to give Grace to put up tomorrow.
Good deal. Yeah, we need to get that on the Pinterest, get back on those Pinterest boards. There's a lot of stuff that I need to sit down. We need to have another company meet because we need to get back on track on a bunch of things. It's been a very busy summer. Let's see. Yes, there are Stuckies. There's not really Stuckies in Darkenfold, but there are a few Waffle Houses, and Matt Golden insisted on some Waffle Houses being there. So you will find a
Hold up. Did I miss something? There's a Waffle House in Aihrde. Am I hearing right?
There's a Waffle House in the Darkenfold created by Aristobulus. Get
That's
great
hilarious.
waffles there.
I was like, what?
That's as bad as Skinny. What is Skinny's Crab Shack? That I dropped in a game and almost got killed by Todd Gray. Let's see. Kevin Deeby. Hey, man. How's it going, Daddy-O? Castle Zagic News. Yeah, we've got, I think the sketch for Garum has been approved, and she's fleshing that out now. And this is Svetlana, and she sent me over the sketch for the city of Yigsburg. I got to look at that this evening, and be tomorrow, and approve that. It looked, from what the brief look, it looks great. And what was something else? And there was something else. But we will do all of that at the top of the hour. I'll give a quick rundown of all those things. Add questions to the start of any questions. There you go. Let's see. Thanks for the news about Barzuma. It'll be compatible. Yes, everything we're doing is compatible with CNC. We're not going to do much beyond that. I mean, we may. Davis every now and again pitches a new RPG, but CNC, the Siege engine really works extremely well for us. So, FEMA Bar's actions response to the Waffle House. Product questions. For those of us not in New Mexico, are there any Castle of Today's long sleeve shirts or hoodies available? Also beneath the canopy green, mentions how it's not an adventure path besides possibly Castle Zagic. Are there any CNC adventure paths plans for me? So the Undying War is sort of an adventure path, but it just much like beneath the canopy green, you kind of got to add some stuff to it to flesh it out. I know that I went back through in this latest iteration of the Undying War. I put a very brief, at this point, move your characters to 3rd level or 4th level or whatever it is. So that one works sort of as an adventure path. The S series certainly do not. The is it I series? Are we doing I series now? I think we are. The Isaiah stuff. That's a pretty decent adventure path. Though Davis's, those are 5 Isaiah adventures, all like 120
God,
pages.
Bless. Again.
But those things are so. They're pretty complicated. I know they're not hard to run, hard to play. It's just a lot going on. So as an adventure path, it's just going to run you through A, B, C, D, and E. Maybe
Damn it.
you'd have to tweak it a little bit, probably. Chuck, we can hear you cussing about Chuck spilt his dinner or his tea into his dinner. I'm not sure what he did, but he's scrambling around.
I had a can of Dr. Pepper explode over everything.
Chuck is wrestling with his dinner, so if this happens sometimes, of course, it's borderline sacrilege to spill Dr. Pepper, but we'll forgive Chuck this one time. So if you have any questions, throw them out there as he's cleaning his desk up and trying to salvage his what I think might be lasagna. Really not sure, but there you go. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so adventure paths wise, I think that's about it. Everything else is pretty kind of chopped up into quick, short adventures, and that's kind of how Davis and I do things. It's kind of news to me that a lot of people don't play campaigns; that they just play these paths and carry them through. So to kind of get my mind around that has not been easy over the years. Dr. Berger has always been too carbonated lately. I've had it happen to me a few times. You know, Savage, it's this theory of diminishing returns. I think that I think that digital worked really well for a while, and now we've gone too far trying to digitize everything and get computers to do everything, and it's just not working very well. I mean, I was talking to my daughter over the weekend, and I can't remember, it was with the post office and her passport or something. I can't remember, but she got into this post office internet loop that she couldn't get out of, and I got into that same thing with the Troll Lord side of Amazon with their Advantage. It's now the Vendor Central program, whatever it is. I got into kind of digital hellhole of a loop. I just stopped, and the problem still hasn't been fixed. I think you can't get the Monsters and Treasures on Amazon right now until I fix it, at least from TLG. So it's a mess. It's a whole mess. Yes, so Cannibal asks, is there a new roadmap for the printing facility? It's funny you should say that, Cannibal. It's been on my mind a lot lately. So my eldest son, he's been a cost accountant for this local company for a couple of years. And we were having lunch about a month ago, and he just reamed into me about money and structure and organization and goals and growth and all kinds of stuff. And I listened to him. I tend to listen to people that, are trained in one particular area or not. And he's pretty good at managing money. Anyway, so we got to talk about it. He got me thinking. One of the things that we're struggling with right now is finding land to buy that we can begin to build on. And he pointed out of many things he pointed out, but one of the things he pointed out, you have land. You have land right now. You own the land right now. Figure out, go in there, get the building made, da, da, da. And that's been on my mind lately, that I don't need to look for land. I own it. I own the land. Am I mad at BB? Sure. I'm a little irritated with the way BB's kind of unfolded. Do I give a shit? Not really. That's their ballgame, right? So I have begun over the weekend, over my vacation week, my non-UFO going, Sedona, Williams, Arizona, not happening vacation. I spent all the time just kind of sitting on the porch, looking at the little creek that kind of tumbles in front of us, and pondering this. And I think that what we're going to do, I'm not 100% certain yet. Jeremy's off for the next couple of days, but Jeremy is very skilled in construction. He's got a secondary skill in construction. He knows how to read permit books and all that. And he actually downloaded BB's permit book months ago and kind of perused it to see what was going on. So I'm going to get with Jeremy Thursday when he's back. I'm going to get with Jeremy and have him go over that permit book and take a step back and cut back what I was going to do, what I had planned to do, the office and the building and all of that business. Cut that out. Look into building the fence myself, how much fencing that I need to do to put around the property. Do I need to fence the whole thing? Can I get away with fencing, a percentage of it? And then look at doing one larger warehouse. So to answer your question, yet the path going forward has not been laid out yet, but I'm back into the planning mode of what we're going to do. So if nothing breaks in the next 30 days about finding a piece of land or maybe an already pre-built building that we move into, I'm going to revisit this whole approach to what we're doing. and it's going to be not necessarily scaled down, just more structured, and the trolls are going to take more control over it. I'm not going to listen to any other third parties about what we can and cannot do, and what we maybe can do, and what we should do, and what we got to convince people to allow us to do. I want to look at the permit book, or have Jeremy do it, because he's got it. I can look at it all day, and it's not going to make any sense to me. Have Jeremy look at it and tell me these are your options, and then proceed from there. So, and because it's not critical. We've made adjustments, but this space, we don't have space. Dakota does not have space. We've made it so that it's workable. The trolls have worked around many problems over the years, so we've got it functioning well, but it could function a lot better, and get that phase done. And it's that building is always on my mind, always on my mind. It should have already been done by now and fully functional and operational, and we're moving into the next stage of trollness. All right, any more questions? Hope that, kind of good. Glad that got you. Any other questions pop in there, Chuck, or you still wrestling with your desk?
No, I'm fine. I discovered that severely frozen carbonated Dr. Pepper is a weapon. Because anyway, yeah, I've not been here, so they've frozen. Because I didn't get my. I've not been here. They've just been sitting in there for a week, freezing. And man, I opened it. It's fine. I'm over here doing whatever, and it just starts spilling out, and the whole can came out. The whole can came out on my desk. I was like, oh my God. What a nightmare.
Joy.
Jesus. Anyway.
That's a good idea. We do need to put those Waters of Dunhollow together. I have actually begun working on the Dwarven Trace. I'm deep into that, and my next project will be, as soon as the Trace is halfway done, which will be by Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to finish the novella. That's the next thing. So, Dwarven Trace, novella, and then the next of the expansion books. And once the novella is done, Alfstrag will become my focus there.
Kevin, we had them, but we sold out. We sold out literally 30 minutes ago. I'm so sorry, buddy. We sold out of all of our long sleeve shirts. We apologize. I'm trolling you.
Dakota talks about he's actually trying to get blankets in here. We talk about this stuff every now and again. So it would be kind of cool with winter coming up. Maybe we'll look at it. I'll give Todd to get some prices, because maybe it is the time to do long sleeve or hoodies or whatever.
Campbell, I didn't waste it. Crom sent that as punishment for something. I don't know what. We'll yeah.
Any other questions pop up in there, Chuck?
No. I think we got them all.
Is your house cold? Why are you?
Yeah, that too. Well, yeah, it's a long story. I haven't got back to Jessica. She's not been over here. She's been staying with her mom some. So the heat's it's like 38 degrees in this house right now. It's a long. We got to.
Oh, I guess it's cold. It's winter. I forget. It's.
Well, not that we get it sooner than you. I've discovered that it moves west.
Yeah, we had, it was 80 something degrees up until Sunday, and then it flipped.
Yeah.
In the maroon color or black. I don't think we can do black. Todd has banned black from Troll Lord clothing. He says it's done too much. Now you're talking CNC quilts. Now you're talking, take old CNC books and quilt them together. I don't think that would work at all.
Oh. Armor. We could have armor.
Now you're talking. Make it so. Yeah, make it so. Very good, Ben. Very good. I'm not going to repeat that Wolfalon. I'm not sure what it means. But in the olden times, that meant something else.
Yeah.
There you go.
I see it that Coop's wanting us to do a bundle on the Store of the Fiction.
Yeah, I'm thinking actually of running those three together into one book. I think would be kind of cool. It would make it a little bit thicker, and I've gotten
especially when we come out with the adventures to match with it.
So what I've been doing lately,
I would like to do that.
I've been reading some classic science fiction. I hate that word classic, but I'm reading some science fiction and fantasy from the 50s and 60s. Everything is kind of pre-Tolkien and Harry Potter and Game of Thrones when everything became kind of the same approach. So I read this Michael Shea, the Niflheim, which is one of the best books I've ever read. But what it did, it kind of got me back into the idea of doing kind of the classic style. So I think what we may do is take those three books of short stories and publish them in this size, in the classic size of a science fiction book or a fantasy book or whatever.
Yeah.
And doing that with a novella too, and just kind of taking a step back from the larger. I've always been enamored with those slightly larger books, 5x5 by 8x5. They were very popular in the '90s. That size was very popular for fiction in general, especially creative nonfiction. I thought that was just a really good size. But I've shifted back. I kind of want to do the classic size. I want to also put a pitch in for Philip K. Dick's The Man Who Japed. I read that over the weekend.
It's good.
Strongly recommend it. Fantastic book. And it gives a whole different, I'm pretty sure it's kind of an anti-communist allegory. I'm pretty sure, I don't like to read too much messaging in what I read. I just enjoy it. But I will say that for my entire adult life, I've listened to people complain about the United States and the West because the gross commercialization of Christmas, there's too much this, there's gaudy advertising, blah, blah, blah. So in this book, in The Man Who Japed, he's in a society where that was all overthrown in the 80s and replaced with kind of this Puritanian approach to lifestyle. The buildings are gray, the streets are brown, clothing is all kind of shades of gray and brown. And at one point, he's in a museum a museum from the 60s or 70s or whatever, showing that stuff, and there's neon lights and stuff. And he talks about, and the character says something like, I wish that we had more color in our world. I wish that maybe a little bit of gaudy is. I mean, it's really this cool kind of, this very cool thing that I thought, it's interesting. The book was written in 56. And this is someone who's saying, you know what, this stuff isn't that bad. This actually brings color to our world and a liveliness as opposed to this, the brutalist architecture. I am not a fan of brutalist architecture at all. But at any rate, it's a very short book. Philip K. Dick, for those who don't know, he wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which of course was made into the movie Blade Runner.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the book is fantastic. The movie is one of the best movies ever made.
And what's the full title of that? I didn't mean to interrupt. Just didn't
of this one.
Jape, you said?
The Man Who Japed.
Japed. Okay.
And a jape is kind of like a joke or
Right.
or whatever. But really cool. Cool. And then what's really cool about reading this stuff pre-late 80s is that it's not so. And I don't want to. I'm a huge Tolkien fan. Everybody knows I'm a giant Tolkien fan. But the publishing houses began, because I read it so much in those days, they began kind of forcing writers into ad crap. You could tell. I mean, you could tell that this book was supposed to be a book and not 7 books or 3 books or whatever. And it just, the tone, there's still good stuff. It's great stuff, whatever. But it's nice to be able to pick up this book. I started it, I think, Saturday morning, and I was done by
You're wanting to maybe run those together and make a book about that size?
Yeah, the classic size, which is like 3.5 by 5, I think,
Right.
is what these
not
are.
5 by 5 or whatever.
No, not digest size. My rulers run off, but
Okay.
the classic, all the paperbacks from the day. So it's 4.25 by 7.
I always wondered why we hadn't done anything like that. So I see why, though. It takes a lot more
We
time.
did actually.
Did you?
In the early days, our fiction was published in that size. So we probably printed 300 of the Andanuth in that size.
Oh, I see.
And sold them. We sold out of them, and we never did them again. But I think that we're going to do a more classic size going forward. I think it's just kind of where my brain is at the moment. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
All right, any more questions float up? Questions. When is the UFO show coming back? I haven't looked. I'm going to assume it's again next time. There's the MUFON exhibit, which I think is in Louisville or Cincinnati or something this year. That one moves. I'm going to find one of the larger ones and go to. I've thoroughly enjoyed this UFO stuff. I don't know which I enjoy more, kind of contemplating the UFOs themselves or contemplating why the government has created so much confusion about whether they exist or not. I mean, every
Purposely.
15-year government.
Purposely.
Yeah, so you got to ask yourself, is the whole thing a psyop from the government to get you to do whatever? It's just nutty. The whole thing is nutty. And here, I'll before we do a crowdfunding breakdown, I'll give you the conspiracy thing that I stumbled upon. Whatever. So I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I have no idea. So this book it's called the Report on Unidentified Flying Objects. It's by Edward Ruppelt. Now, Edward Ruppelt is the guy who ran Project Blue Book for 20 years, give or take.
Right.
And he leaves Blue Book in 54, I think. In 1954, he leaves Blue Book. So he ran it for 5 years or whatever, however long he was there. In 56, he published this book. And this book has 17 chapters in it. And in it, he talks about all the UFOs he investigated. And he ends it on this kind of, well, what I thought was a high note. Now, when I bought this book last year, and I read this book last year, the last chunk of it is him just debunking the whole thing. Debunks everything. Attacks everybody who believes in UFOs. And I was like, well, this is completely disappointing. I was looking for some kind of validation in something that I half believe in. And I didn't get any of it. So when I'm reading the UFOs of the National Security State, I discover this. There's two editions of Ruppelt's book. One, according to this guy, one is 1956, one is 1959. Now, in 1955, when Ruppelt leaves Blue Book, he tries to join one of the UFO groups called NICAP. And he didn't quite join it, but he was a very huge advocate of UFOs, continuing to explore throughout 1955 and 1956 and 1957. He is hired by one of the big defense, I can't remember off the top of my head, Raytheon, whatever, one of the big defense contractors in 57. And then in 58, he recants everything and says there's no UFOs, there's nothing. And in 1959, he publishes his revised version of this book. And it has 3 extra chapters in it. And in those chapters, he just trashes everything. So I'm reading this, the 56 version and then the 59 version are different. He added 3 chapters to the 59 version. Now, when I purchased this book last year, I was very careful to get a first printing. I'm very Raytheon. I think that was it. I'm very keen on getting first printings because I like what before changes get in there. And my book in there in the other rooms has the copyright date 1956. This guy says that copyright date is 56. And the other one should be 59. This one that I got today in the mail is the original 1956 one with 17 chapters. The other one that I have, that I think was published in 1959, has a copyright date of 1956, and it has the extra 3 chapters. So in my head, I'm thinking, who didn't change the copyright date on this book? What? Why wasn't the copyright? And the conspiracy in me goes, oh, well, the Air Force, what they wanted to do was get rid of the original one and replace it with this one, obviously, because in the original one, he's supporting UFOs, but in this one, he's not. Now, it's very possible that this guy, the National Security State's wrong, and that the second edition came out in 1956. Or I'm going to have to check with the Library of Congress for that. Or it would be odd that it came out in 56 if he went on to continue supporting the UFO stuff until 57. It's just so weird. And then his book comes out in 59, his revised one, and then he dies the next year of a heart attack at the age of 37. So you're like going, what's going on here? I don't know.
There's something going on here for sure.
It's just something going on. And maybe it's coincidence. Who knows? Maybe someone just didn't update. And this is the interesting thing about the UFO stuff that I think doesn't get nearly enough attention. It doesn't get any attention so far as I can see. Is that the UFO, the Air Force, who's largely in charge of this, keeps doing weird shit to make us think that what? Why are you lying or what's going? It's just so much googly goo going on. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. So there's my UFO conspiracy. Was Ruppelt's book, was the copyright date intentionally left 56 to confuse the whole, what's that word? Obfuscate the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll grab any other questions I come across and we'll move to the updates and then get those at the end. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right, let's get some updates done here.
All right, so we really only have, yes, that's the word, Wolf Alone. I love that word. We only have, I think, 4 active left, Infernum and Exaltum. Those books arrived today. That was done in a Kickstarter. It is rather late. Both of these books, they showed up. They are absolutely stunningly beautiful. The interiors, full color, the whole 9 yards. Chuck has been working very hard. They weren't supposed to be here for another week, so we thought we were all golden that we could get the backer kit done this week and out before the books got here. Well, the books arrived today. Unbeknownst to any of us, we got a call from the warehouse that said, "Hey, we got a truck down here. They're unloading pallets." I'm like, "Ah, damn." So Dakota and I had to go down and take it. So those books are in. Chuck should have this up and running by Thursday, I'm guessing, give or take. We'll call for final shipping instructions, and as soon as you get that to us, we'll start shipping these things out. So those should hopefully begin shipping this week, if not definitely by Monday. The next one over there, what else have we got over there? We got the Gygaxian Fantasy World Series. So he has finished laying out. Bill Edmonds, our graphic design guy working on it, has finished the Canteen Crew, the Book of Names, the Living Fantasy, and the Essential Facts and Things. And he is in adventure writing or nation builder. Maybe I think he finished adventure writing actually. So we've got over half done. Mel's almost done with the art for the Waylon Smith. Still not moving as fast as I want, but these books are coming together very quickly. I'm not going to say this week because we got to get the Adventures Backpack rolling up, but I'm hoping that next week, once the Adventures Backpack is off to the printers and Chuck's got backer kits set up for Infernum, then we can start releasing the Canning Crew, Essential Facts and Things, Book of Names in PDF format, so everybody will at least start getting that stuff and get a better idea that we are making real progress on that. The third one up is Castle Zagig. We're making great progress on that. Cover for book 1 is done. We're deep into, well, we've started book 2 cover, and both of those should be done by Christmas. And then we'll do book 4 and 5, which will be another Kickstarter. Svetlana has sent over her sketches for Garum. That's already being fleshed out. I've approved all of that. And she just sent over today the sketch for the city of Yigsburg. And after she's done with that, she'll do the East Mark. So the maps are well ahead of schedule. We're golden on the maps. Peter has been doing some fantastic art for that. We're talking about bringing in a few more artists just to kind of flesh it out. But we got to see. I don't want to just sprinkle art all over the place, since we're going to use maps and stuff like that to kind of help augment the text. The text for Yigsburg is been reforged, and it's queued up to be edited. Probably not this week, but next week it'll go into editing for its final pass and then layout. So by Christmas, we should have the PDF to you guys. And Dan Cross and Jeremy are working on the reforging Upper Works. And Mike is on book 4. He sent me some questions over the week, and I did not answer that. So Castle Zagig barreling right forward. The last one we got live is the Adventures Backpack. The Adventures Backpack is all laid out. I've got 5 pages of edits that Grace sent me over this morning. I got most of those in today. And we have, I believe Chuck has done a call out to Discord and to backers to give us, whatever you have found, send that to Chuck, or I don't know, whatever he told you to do in Discord. Do what he said to do in Discord.
Oh, they did great. Lots of good feedback.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping to have all of that in the Adventures Backpack by Friday or Monday, so that we can get the Adventures Backpack to the printers on Monday. And that is the plan stuff. So a good deal, Death Angel Shadow. It's very good. The more you find, the better. We've combed this quite a bit. Finn has, Chuck has, Jeremy has, I have. However, because we did a chunk of rewriting on sections, added some stuff, and put some stuff back in, chaos ensues, and some sections didn't get a post edit. So everything that you can find would be great. And I think we are well on to getting this guy cleaned up by Monday.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, because anything else?
That's it. That's all for him.
So let's see. Only question I got floating out there right now is from Death Angel. He said, "Did we ever get Chuck's total PC body count from GameOCon? Like I go and actually try to kill characters off. That is, Jeff. That hurts me. That really, really bothers me.
Death Angel. Yes, the deadline is 2 days ago.
I had a lot of good games there. I did have a couple. I had about. Now remember, one game had 14 people in it. Okay. And they lost, unfortunately, in that game. They killed. So short story street is they led to believe there was a red dragon. They prepped for it because no one ever runs dragon battles at cons anymore. So I thought I would, It turned out it was a blue dragon, so they prepped for that. Turns out it was really a lich dragon in illusionary form, and so they killed it. The assassin killed it. Steve, he rolled a nat 20 and a double 100.
Oh, nice. There you go.
But the other 10 or so died from that game. And then I had another game where I had to wipe us. So about 16 people, I think, Jeff, total.
There you go. That's a pretty good
Yeah,
score.
it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Oh, don't be scared of Vacada Con. It'll be fun.
Yeah, do we have another convention coming up?
Me and Dakota and Jeremy and a bunch of us are going down to Dayton in the middle of November, and then that's it till January.
Okay, yeah, he wasn't clear on that, and I know
Yeah.
you told me about that, but I completely forgot about it.
We're gonna have a new Castle Keeper Day band there. I think I posted a picture in the chat. You might have saw it of Astrid, our new 8-year-old CK.
Oh yes, I did. That's very cool. Very
I ran her through I vetted her pretty hard too, just to make sure.
good.
Anyway,
Jeff Gordon asks, "Do we have a ship date for Adventures Backpack?" So if we can get that guide to the printers on Monday, what is it? It should ship at the end of November. It should be out for Christmas. We'll have that and Gods and Legends back in print, and these 2 books. There's something else floating around in my head. So yeah, Adventures Backpack is.
yeah,
We're about to wrap her up.
sounds
And the
good.
printing is always. I can tell that whatever's going on, the bigger picture with the economy and tariffs and whatever, and that's not a discussion we're going to have. But our lead time has gone from, and I warned everybody this was going to happen, from 3 to 4 weeks to 5 to 7 weeks now from the printers. It's taking a little bit longer, and that's because more and more people are shifting to domestic printing and printing here in the United States.
That's right.
Which is I'm good with all of it. It's fun. Any more questions?
I don't have anything.
Does anyone have any questions specific about Aihrde? I was going to talk about the Dwarven Trace today, but Chuck informed me we did that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We have been winding up this chat with Aihrde material, but what I was going to talk about tonight, we already talked about. So if you have any questions, though.
I have a question. I have a question for you.
What you got?
The way I read the books originally, it seemed to me like I got the impression that outside of the Cradle of the World, and maybe even further away from there, but the further away you got from civilization in the main continent, the worse the eradication of halflings as a race became. Would that speak? Like if you go, like, say, farther out to Is or down to Inclunade or maybe up to the Shelves of Mist, they were hunted more extensive there because it was less urban, less civilization, I guess, or urban areas. Or
yeah, what? So the whole world is divided up into 7 realms, and the 7 captain kings. So Unklar rules over Aihrde, and he's got and Nulak Hizden is given kind of the overlordship of the Cradle of the World, the Lands Versal, and the 7 captain kings are put over regions of the world. So each of those regions is going to be kind of affected, and I really need to write that up.
You do. I want you to. That's where I'll go. That's my next question. When are you going to write this for me?
Yeah, give a little more clarity to the way that worked, because, like, Mammon specifically, I remember Mammon was one of my favorite Captain Kings. He's one of my favorite devils.
Sounds cool.
And I love the picture in the original Monster Manual too. I think is where Mammon is just cool. He's big.
Yeah, he's sitting up there, and he's yeah.
And he hunted halflings like nuts. So in his realm, the halflings would have been hunted very, very aggressively. But like Beelzebub, is that his name? Beelzebub? He ruled in the east, I believe. I'd have to look at my map now. And he really didn't give a shit what Unklar was doing. He didn't care what Unklar's edicts were. He didn't care about any of that crap. So because he's so arrogant himself, whatever. Mammon loved to serve. That's what Mammon loved to do. But Beelzebub was his own. Beelzebub was his own fucking ball of whatever.
Right on.
So in his region, the halflings he would not have done anything special to cater to Unklar. You see what I mean?
I see. Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, because that's the halflings and the elves become delicacies that are served on the plates of the lords of Alstrad. That's where they're because Unklar hated those creatures and he loved to eat them, so they were part of his feasts. So people would round up halflings and carry them to the Alstrad.
Sure. Yeah.
I brought you 20 whatever. So they were hunted in some areas, but Beelzebub did not care. I mean, he literally. There's like 2 major civil wars while Unklar's sleeping, and Beelzebub's at the front of both of them. I mean, he's like, we're taking over. Right. The horn guy's out. He's weakened himself too much. We can take it now, and he fails every time. But
interesting.
The interesting story to Mammon is he ends up getting, what is he? I think it's in the Codex of Aihrde. He gets his feet and hands lopped off by one of Luther's children.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's born down on a battle. He wages into the battle.
I dare say there's all kinds of stuff floating out there that you need to get down on paper. That's my guess.
Yeah, he grabs. I believe this part might be Codex, but Luther's son, I can't remember which one, grabs Mom and pins him down, and he hews off his hands and his feet.
God.
And permanently maims him, and that's why Mom doesn't have hands. So it's kind of cool.
That got dark quick. Well, if I know about it, he got a hold of me right as we were traveling, so there's nothing I could do. I just got back today, so he'll have to wait. Why does Aihrde art always have a 90s metal feel to it?
That's funny. You got to go back to your classic album covers that were just works of art, right? I mean, they were all works of art.
Right.
Alas, for Bilbo Keefe as well. Yes, indeed. No room for Bilbo. That's why the halflings. Now we gave an out, but the halflings in Aihrde were more. I love talking. I gotta always press it to everything I say with that. The halflings in Aihrde were more inspired by the halflings in Ardu and Gamor, which were little murderous little bastards. so the halflings, the way I pitched them post Unklar, is that those who survived they're not evil by any stretch, but they're wickedly tough, and they can survive just about anything. Now we put in there a caveat that if you want to play Bilbo, those halflings do exist as well, so you can go in the direction you want with it. But
a couple more here real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. Coop Waffle asks, is there any of the cloth covered Enduith books left?
There was,
other than my copy that you've holding on to me for.
Yeah, of course. There was one box, but now we did part of one of the mystery boxes. Yeah. The Andanuth went into those, so there may be. I'll ask Dakota when he'll get in the morning. I'll ask Dakota. So, Coop, shoot. Well, I'm trying to get back on Discord, but shoot Chuck a message, and we'll have an answer for you tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the last one I saw? I think that's really it, mainly. Oh, that was the real important one there from Savage. Dwarf question. Is chest hair considered a desirable physical trait on dwarven women? What would you say to that?
No. Nor are they bearded. No, and nor are they bearded. Dwarven women in Aihrde are not bearded. Chuck has none of this.
All right.
So Touch of Evil is, I'm not sure what he's commenting on, but he says, because that is AI free art. So I just want you
he's talking about the heavy metal art.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, well, so I went into Grok. I needed a picture. Chuck asked for some art for tonight's game, and I couldn't find what I wanted. I go to Pinterest. I love Pinterest. So I'm poking around. I couldn't find it. So I thought, I'm just going to get Grok to do something. So I typed in a wizard and a warrior in a canoe on a river, and it was the dumbest picture.
I was going to say, that's not what you sent me.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. It was absolutely, I didn't keep it. I closed it. It was just terrible. So whatever is going on with AI and art, and we didn't have that conversation, but I have zero skill in making that do anything I want it to do. Yes, Death Angel. I followed that over the weekend. That was very, very funny. The whatever pastel picture hit the waves was just funny. It was humorous. It was a good piece of art in and of itself, but as for the beholder, man, come on, it's the beholder. It's the beholder. It's supposed to be the worst of the worst.
Well, the good news is we're going to give you guys a break to go to the store, get you a drink, candy bar, whatever you need, so you can come back and watch me wreck Steve's game here in a few minutes.
That's right. We're doing it. Right. Yeah, so we'll start that at 6, so that's in about 40 minutes. I got a pizza in his way, and so we will see you guys in about 40 minutes.
Sounds good to me. All right, guys, just hang out. What do you want to do? We're going to close the stream down so I can reset it back up. But we'll be back on probably about 20 minutes or so. I'll have it back up running again. All right?
So we're going to have a discussion about dwarven beards soon. You and I. So.
All right, buddy. Hey, we can do that. We'll do a whole thing about upper and lower. All right, everybody, have a good night. We'll catch you later. All right, see you.
See y'all in a bit.